Fans, let's get straight to the point. Eddie Howe broke his silence about his future at Newcastle United, and the way he said it says much more than it seems. The question is simple, but weighty. Why didn't he seek any guarantees from PIF, even though he's perhaps living through the riskiest moment of his time at the club? And more importantly, does this reveal any changes behind the scenes or confirm that Howe is stronger than ever? Hold on tight, because what was said before the match against Manchester City could fuel endless debates among the Magpies. And here's a quick invitation. If you live Newcastle as much as we do and always want to stay up to date, subscribe to the channel and leave a like, because that greatly strengthens our work and helps Magpies news reach even further. Now tell me, do you really believe Howe is at risk? Or is this just outside noise trying to create smoke where there is no fire? The truth is, for the first time in a long time, Howe has started to be questioned. The team is going through a difficult phase, suffering poor results in the Premier League, and is only 2 points above the relegation zone before facing Manchester City. It's a scenario that stirs things up, provokes debate, and would naturally put any coach under pressure. But here's the first big question for you to consider. If the moment is turbulent, why doesn't PIF show any public concern? And why does Howe seem even calmer than many expected? Even with the demanding atmosphere, Howe continues to have the full support of the owners. All suggestions of an immediate change in management are seen as an exaggeration. Internally, the atmosphere is one of confidence, and this explains a detail that many people ignored. Howe simply didn't feel the need to talk to anyone about his future, and he made that clear without mincing words. Before the match against Manchester City, Howe was directly asked, "Did you seek any assurances from your superiors?" His answer was so honest that it even surprised some reporters. He said he didn't seek, didn't ask for, and doesn't intend to ask for anything. For him, that wouldn't be the right thing to do. And that's the key question for you, the fan. Not asking for guarantees is a sign of strength or of extreme confidence in one's own work. Howe explained that his focus is solely on improvement. He doesn't look at hierarchy, he doesn't ask for protection, he doesn't ask for comfort. He believes that what matters is showing knowledge, leadership, and the ability to react. In other words, if the team starts performing again, external conversations automatically lose their power. He made this clear by saying that, regardless of the moment, there's always something to prove in each match. And he went further. He wants to see the players reacting this weekend. According to him, the group is hurt by the recent away games. The pain exists, but the response needs to appear on the field. And this is where we arrive at the most symbolic point. Howe's stance with PIF reveals a lot about how Newcastle functions today. He was instrumental in bringing in Ross Wilson, someone he intends to work with for many years. Furthermore, the new CEO, David Hopkinson, is a great admirer of Howe. This leads us to a crucial question. How can a manager going through a bad spell continue to be considered essential to the club's future? The answer lies in the structure created since his arrival. Howe is not just a coach. He is part of the DNA of the current Newcastle. He is involved in all sectors, in all strategic decisions, in everything that shapes the club today. Even saying that Newcastle was built in his image might be an exaggeration, but it's not that far from the truth. If you remove Howe now, an entire machine will fall apart. The PIF project grew with him and because of him. And that's why talking about an immediate change simply doesn't fit with what's happening behind the scenes. PIF doesn't work on impulse. Taking drastic action would only happen in the event of a complete disaster. And this point is crucial. Not even behind the scenes is this subject discussed. Not even informally. Nothing. It's as if it doesn't even make sense to consider something like that at this moment. So, another key question for you. If the internal environment is so stable, why does part of the press insist on creating an atmosphere of urgency around Howe? Who benefits from feeding this kind of narrative? For the club owners, Howe is the heart of the project. There's no guarantee that everything would have worked out without him. And knowing this, do you really think the PIF, Project Identification Fund, will tamper with something that is still considered the central pillar of the reconstruction? In the end, the message is direct. Howe didn't ask for guarantees because he already knows he has the PIF's confidence. He knows the size of the space he has conquered, And if those behind the scenes aren't worried, why should the fans be? The truth is that this tranquility says everything about the internal situation at Newcastle United, and perhaps the real turning point lies precisely here. When a coach doesn't need to ask for job security, it's because the club has already made it clear, without speaking, that he is part of the future. Subscribe and share this video with your friends.